Hello, everybody, and welcome to Howson McKola Uncensored on Stretford, Paddock. All right.
What's going on?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm over it now. I'm over it.
Okay. Marcus Rashford got an honorary doctorate this morning.
I know. I've just been thinking about this. Do we call him Doctor
Rashford? Yeah.
Dr. Marcus.
Like,
He is
if we
very
haven't
well.
photoshopped it, by the time this comes out, if this hasn't got Marcus
On the
as a
thumbnail.
doctor, then
In a doctor's
Dom's
suit.
fucked right up.
With us two either side of him. Right. We're doing your jobs for
Youngest
you. Like,
person to ever get a degree. What did you just say? Was you heard it?
from Manchester.
Yeah.
Uni,
University
isn't
of
it?
Manchester.
Yeah. I had to pay £9,000 for mine. You got that for free.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Mine was £9,000 a year.
£9,000 a year?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. It is.
You went uni before me?
No, I didn't.
Wait. Huh?
2014, I went.
When did I go? Oh yeah, shit. So you did go quite late.
I went as
Recently.
I went as a mature student.
You're not. Yeah, you went when you were a YouTuber, kind of.
It might have been 2015, actually, then, yeah. But yeah, I did, yeah. I was.
People must look at us and think they haven't got degrees.
Well, I haven't, because I didn't pass.
Oh, I have.
I didn't finish it.
I got a law degree.
I did a year. Yeah, it would have been 2014 when I started, September 14. Because I bounced in... Because I was a quantity surveyor.
So what do you think people think you were? Like, because I don't think anyone thinks you're a quantity surveyor. In between being a YouTuber and, like, I don't know what you look like. You look like you might have owned, like, one of them, like, food vans that are good. Like, no, but are good, like...
Like the Northern Soul type
like
ones.
gourmet ones, yeah. Like, you have to phone him and book him out, and he comes down, and he's got,
I'd
like,
enjoy
pulled
that.
pork and...
Pizza.
Yeah, pulled pork pizzas.
Yeah, I could have... I'd have dug that.
I can see you doing something like that. As for me, guess we'll just go with the old cliche. I would have had a corner shop. But nah, yeah, I just imagine what we would have been doing without YouTube.
Oh, mate. I'd have probably... I fell into quantity surveying. So I left the army and I went working for Janine's old man. And I was doing TV installations. So home cinemas. Which was cool. When you got a home cinema, sometimes you got some amazing setups. People had like 12 grand tellies delivered and stuff like that. There was one bitch of a woman.
Is that how you went to Finger's house? Treble Winner's house?
Yorke?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, Dwight Yorke was my girlfriend at the time. Worked in a bar, which is now... what's it called? It's not Panacea, is it? It used to be Panacea. It's got a new name now. Whatever it is in Alderley Edge. The one next to the train station. Can't remember the fucking name of it now. It used to be called Brazingerman's. It used to have a club attached to it called the Braz. When...
I've heard Dwight Yorke loves brass.
when Harvey Price was born, I believe he's in a bad way at the moment.
Yeah,
I think.
hope he's all right.
Yeah, when he was born, Dwight had a wetting the baby's head party, and he invited all the bar staff because I guess they're his mates. Not joking, just like it's just a true story, isn't it? To the party, and she was working it, so she said, "Do you mind if I just invite my boyfriend instead? Because he's a big United fan." And he was like, "Yeah," and my uncle was the bouncer of the club anyway. And Joe Adam, who works here, his uncle Jay was the guy that used to drive everybody there. So we kind of like knew the place and knew who worked there and all that sort of stuff. So I went, this is the maddest one ever, like I went to the wetting of the baby's head for baby Harvey.
Baby that doesn't even care about.
Yeah.
That's mental.
That might have been
He had
the
a
only thing he
party for
ever
him.
did for him. That might be the only thing he ever did for him.
That's really bad, by the way.
It is bad.
Did you hear him? We'll take it back to somewhere where we want to be rather than talking about someone's parenthood, if that's the word. You see him on the podcast this week with Sam and that. Dwight Yorke.
No, I've heard some of the comments that come out of it.
He said after 99, he went into Fergie's office and he said, "Can I have a year off paid?" David May, who's on the podcast, went. Imagine if we all did that. Yeah, David, no one would have noticed if you did that. But Dwight Yorke. Imagine that.
I wonder he was out the door about 12 months after that.
He went Blackburn not long after that, didn't he?
About 2001, summer 2001.
But he goes, it was because, obviously, check out the podcast if you want. Sam's doing great work on it. But it was because he goes, I don't ever think, like, there's only one way down now. It's kind of true, isn't it? Completed it, mate. He literally completed it, mate. And it's like, I'd imagine if I was a footballer and I just made my debut for United, I'll just go
and won a
off the
treble
rails.
in a year.
Just go off the rails.
We signed him, 12.6 million. Summer
I wanted
1998.
Patrick Kluivert.
Not on your own. Signed him. He becomes European Golden Boot. He wins Premier League, FA Cup, and European Cup in his first season as a Red. I don't hold it against him.
You don't, and especially knowing the character he is. I've heard other wild stories about it that probably can't say on here. But like, he just loved life, innit? He really did love life. He obviously showed it in his parties.
Go back on the story at least anyway, because you were saying like go back to his house.
Yeah.
After that party, we went back to his house. My uncle was driving Rio's car and scraped it on the gate, the back arch of his Aston Martin, and he was like,
Rio?
Rio Ferdinand, yeah. And he was
Rio
like,
and Yorke crossover, or were they just friends?
This was summer 2000, was it October, November 2002, something like that? Rio was already a Red then, wasn't he?
I thought it was...
But there was, no, it was, when this happened, Yorke was at Blackburn.
Okay, but you're still living in Cheshire, I guess.
Yeah. And because in the party there was, because people won't get this, but there was a few City players that used to hang out with all the United players. Jeff Whitley, Danny Tiatto, who was a knob, but on the pitch, hated him.
That's a name
but
I've
actually,
heard of in ages.
in person, well sound. And then the party was like a couple of them lads, but then it was all the Blackburn players like Brad Friedel,
David Dunn,
Flitcroft. No, I don't think Dunn was there.
Mortgans Pedersen.
He wasn't there. But it was all that era.
Colin Hendry, remember him?
Yeah,
Big hair.
he obviously wasn't there.
He had a mad perm, innit? I just always remember getting football stickers of him, seeing his big head.
He was good
Carry
at
on
foot
with the
manager.
story anyway. You went to his
So,
house.
it was a lot of Blackburn players. I think Blackburn had just beat us as well, like that weekend. This was like on a weird night. It wasn't. It was obviously it's footballers, isn't it? So he'd hired the whole place out. Random people in there like Will Mellor drove 2 pints of lager.
Oh, he's good in. You always see him at games, you know.
So there was random ass people in there, and then because my uncle was like taking people's cars back for him and stuff like that, and he took Rio's car to Dwight's house, scraped the fucker on the gate on the way in.
Can you remember what car it was?
Yeah, black Aston Martin DB9. One of them where you go, that's not a cheap. Rio just goes, oh, don't worry about it. And he was like, what?
Dentley.
Okay, fair enough. The Dentley.
Which reminds me, a year ago.
But yeah, we was playing snooker in his games room. And this the story is, and I'm so glad it fucking came out, was there was one shirt he had hung up in there. So he's got 2 trophy cabinets with all his with his European Golden Boot. I was like in heaven, mate, just looking at this shit. All his Premier League winners medals, stuff like that. And then one footballer's shirt up on the wall in his games room.
Whose was it?
R9. From when we played against him.
Yeah.
That's it. No other football shirts in the place. R9.
I remember meeting R9.
And he was upstairs with her.
Funny enough, with Sam. And we seen him and we just ran up to him like little kids. And because like me and Sam went to do something at some media event.
It's Cannes, wasn't it?
In Cannes, yeah. And so we did something about Devils one day. And then the next day, Ronaldo was doing something about polka stars because he's a big, he works a lot with them, don't he? So he was there. Me and Sam were like, shit, he's in town. When we're here, we need to find him.
Does he speak English?
He did. We had a very, it felt like 5 minutes. It was probably 2. Do you know, like, it was a very short conversation, but we were like, we need to see this guy. And then we walked out of our hotel on one of the evenings and he just walked past us. And we were just like, and we just chased him up the road. And then when we got there, we were the only ones talking to him. He looked shocked that someone recognised him, R9. And then we were just giddy little kids. Bearing in mind, I was probably about 26 at this time. And we were just giddy little kids. Oh my God, R9, you're amazing. And then I remember saying to him, you should have
cuddle him?
Yeah. I said, you should have come. I cuddle everyone, I did. I said, you should have come to United. And he goes, I never had the chance. Unless Fergie thought, impossible, knee injuries, too much money, I don't know.
The time to get him was either as he left PSG or as he left Barca. There was no other time to get him.
But there was a little part of me that when he was at AC Milan, or just before he went there, I wanted us to sign him.
Even fucked and probably a couple of stone overweight, Real Madrid R9
Yeah.
was still potent as a motherfucker.
It was amazing.
But,
I remember.
What's your favourite one? Because mine's either first season in
Inter.
or Barcelona.
Inter.
It was outrageously good.
Inter Ronaldo going into the '98 World Cup. I don't think there's a better striker anywhere in the world ever. I even put him above Messi and Ronaldo. I just think it's different eras of football where, back then it was all about scoring 20 goals, 30 goals a season.
Not 50.
Football's changed, you know what I mean? And I think if he played in this era, he probably has that kind of numbers as well. You look at what Mbappe's doing, you look at... And I'm not discrediting these players. There was nobody doing a goal a game like... He was doing a goal a game at Barcelona. I think he scored 37 in 34, actually. Something like that at Barcelona. And that wasn't Barcelona Messi era. That was Barcelona, almost like United Bobby
now.
Robson era.
Yeah.
What a man, by the way, Bobby Robson is.
Yeah.
We overlook that, don't we?
Big time.
I remember when he was England manager when I was a kid, he used to kind of be ridiculed a little bit.
Because that's the job of the England manager.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the press are dicks, mate, and they don't know a good thing when they've got it.
But he
did it with everyone that's ever...
person.
They did it with Beckham, they did it with Rooney, they've done it with Charlton. They arguably did it with Sven. Sven was a better manager than he gets credit for. What? He got England to... Did he get to a semi?
Sven, yeah.
Right?
I think.
Which was about where England were... I don't know how fucking Southgate got England to a semi. There was nobody that they had to beat to get there.
I'd have got England to that semi.
And then the first team you come up against...
Bit of passion. Get stuck in. I like Gareth Southgate. I think he's a good people person, and I think he's great with the squad. I just think... That's why I think, though, Mourinho's life now is in international football.
Probably, yeah.
Because you will be the greatest manager in international football.
He could be. And he's also not got that day-to-day where he's grinding you down.
Saying that, beat Arsenal.
That's not an achievement.
Oh, God, Arsenal.
Since when's beating Arsenal a fucking achievement?
I know. But they are bad, ain't they? They are bad. Anyway, what I was going to say a bit ago was, 1 year ago today, we were in Perth.
Yeah.
That was good, innit?
I've seen the memories popping up. Yeah. Yesterday I saw
Tomo's just tweeted us.
Of me and Joe in the Bay. That was in Perth. And then, I've had a couple of tweets today from people that we had beers with out there.
That was a sick time. We should have now been
wherever,
planning for tour, going on tour.
On it now.
Potentially India.
Probably 15th of July. Probably leaving now-ish.
Yeah, or just got there. Because I just got to Perth, didn't sleep, and we went straight on it.
Considering that's the worst flight you can do on Earth, ain't that bad?
I didn't sleep for the day before, so I'd slept on both flights. I just thought, let me get a good 10 hours kipping.
Do you know what it's all about? Eye masks. Y'all don't know about eye masks.
See, earplugs, eye masks, they don't work for me.
You've got to try the eye mask.
I get paranoid with the eye mask on, so I just, every 5 minutes.
I think someone had some vlog footage of me and Joe asleep next to each other. Noise cancelling headphones on, eye mask, neck pillow.
I love the Wi-Fi on the airplanes when we were going there. Emirates.
It's the future, isn't it?
Yeah, having Wi-Fi on planes is very good. Very, very good. The prices aren't very good, but it's very good having that.
Yeah, we'd have been on it now. I can't wait for the next one. The next one should be mint.
Because the club are going to go big.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
They're going to go. I wouldn't be surprised if they do Australia again.
I think it's all
India and all that. Or will they go America?
Yeah, because it's easier. There's also the Euros next year, which you think half of our squad's going to be involved in it, if not more. So it could be a very youth-heavy. I would make an early prediction. Mabry's on tour next year.
Yeah, I think that would be the case anyway. Do you think he'll make his debut next year?
A little birdie tells me he's probably going to bounce between 23s and 18s next season. But
So
that doesn't mean
training with the first team.
Yeah, that doesn't mean no.
Might come off the bench
that
one game.
Might mean a League Cup, maybe, or depending if we're in Europa or Champions League, you get the group done early.
But also a lot depends on him. If he's tearing up under 23 football and it's just like...
He's not like Mason, though. Even though Mason was skinny, there was a physicality to him. And also, he plays on the wing, you can be smaller. Or he was going to come in on the wing, so you can be smaller. That's why he doesn't play up front yet, because he's not physically mature enough to play as a number 9 in the Prem. Mabry in midfield, even though Bruno ain't big, even though David Silva ain't big, I think Mabry does need to just physically develop a little bit. Hell of a player though.
Where do you see his
right vision?
Is it like, where do you see his future? Is it in that Bruno role?
It's literally the Bruno role, yeah. Being a bit more advanced, on the edge of the final third, making things happen. He can play a bit deeper, but I see him probably sitting there.
He's such an intelligent footballer as well. His awareness of space around him, his trickery. He knows it as well, and that's why I think you need to get out of the 18s as quickly as possible. When you get to that level as well.
18s is cool, right? 18s is fairly competitive, but then it opens up into a mire of shit of 5 years of players who aren't good enough to play first team. Under 18s is still quite competitive because for most players, it's their first time playing a double age group. So it's quite a bit of a jump for them, and it's testing. Quite often when you play against other academies, if you're a first year, you're playing against almost exclusively second years. So that's a test for you. You don't really see anybody shine in their first year. Mason did, Mabry did, Angel did. Outside of that, not many.
So you mentioned Angel though, that's the point. Like, I kind of feel he had too long in the 23s.
Yeah.
Andres Pereira, possibly Adnan Januzaj, and you just stagnate in there.
It's
and
shit.
Everyone knows you're a very good footballer, but the jump from 23s to first team is way too big. Yeah. It's way too big.
The 23s is bollocks, and I'd be in favour of a B team, but I also understand like League 1 and League 2 clubs going, well, that's not fucking on, is it? But I can only ever look at it from a United perspective. It would be well better for United to have a competitive under-23 team that played League 1 or League 2. But I also understand that, and they're like, well, no one wants to watch your under-23s, and you're like, I think more United fans would go watch the under-23s than watch the average League 2 game now, right? I think United fans, because of how much we like our youth team, would go and watch that regularly.
I'd say the 23s probably have, and I know they're a fairly new team, and it's not a criticism of their game, but you probably have a better crowd or similar crowd to the women for the 23s.
I think it'd be better, yeah.
Better, probably. Definitely for the Youth Cup games and things like that.
Yeah, but I think if you was playing regularly and you made the prices like a £5 or something like that, you would get a lot of people.
Well, we get free
watching.
entry with a season ticket, don't we?
Yeah.
And I always think, like, getting kids into those games is important as well. Like, especially because, one, ticket prices at first team levels are so expensive now that most kids, like, if you're getting to see a Pogba or a Hannibal Medjugorje in the 23s, that's amazing. You get to say, oh, I seen him before, he was good and that. But just getting kids in there so that I think you price kids out of the game, you ruin the support in the future. Well,
you know, from the start of the Premier League until, like, I think it would have been like 6-7 years ago, the average age in 92, 93 was like 23 and a half. 20 years later, it was 42 and a half. So in that 20 years, the age had gone up 19 years. So what does that tell you? The people who were watching football in 92, 93 are more or less the same people. There isn't the underbelly of rascals coming in. There's not the 14 and 15-year-olds that are going with their mates because they can't afford it. Like, Jadon couldn't go to a match on his own with his mates, like I did.
And that's why you do see people like SC Dons, #Paddock one day.
Possibly.
The fan bases for them will be bigger because you can watch the game with a beer in your hand. You can have a sing and a dance.
You can fucking talk to the players.
You can do everything. Yeah, and that's why I think the people that like the women's game are really fanatical about it. Like you see Nat and you see the Barmy Army and that, but they can get so close to those players that they feel like they're an extra part of the team.
Yeah.
And I suppose as your team gets bigger, you will lose that. It's harder to be able to do that. But it's great to be able to do that as well.
I wonder if Paddock are going to benefit from there being no fans in Premier League. If we start in September, we can have up to 1,000 fans. We're not getting 1,000 fans.
You do hear rumours that it's going to be back soon. We're going to be back in stadium soon.
Yeah, but it might be like a percentage.
10k at a time.
That's mad, that.
That'd be weird. Like, because we've got a hope. Like, you've got a season ticket, I've got a season ticket, Jay's got one.
Like, hope between us, we've got
one of us going. Because it's like, shit. But
I guarantee the first day it's like, boom, all of us. Fuck!
Yeah. I'd
Next
love
week,
to be.
none of us.
It's one of them, innit? You have to be at that first game back. Because it's historical, that is. It's like the journalists that are at these games now. They're like, they're the only ones that have seen Martial's hat-trick or seen this or that. Or it's pretty good.
Do you know who was at one of them? Fucking Mitts.
What?
Mr. Stewart, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, he was there for which game was it? Was it Sheffield United? It was a Sheffield United game.
Just don't respond, Mitch. That's all right, mate.
All right.
Oh, he's in the back. He's gone to drop the kids off at the pool. Yeah. How you feeling about the top 4 now?
Hang on, is he here, isn't he? No, it's not him.
Now the dust is settled. That's that knobhead camp.
I think we lost a massive opportunity to be in pole position. It's harder to be chasing than it is to just be fuck off with that. Harder to be chasing than it is to be in front. Because now we're going into the Crystal Palace game with nerves, rather than going into the Crystal Palace game going, let's extend our lead and make it almost impossible for someone to catch us. We're in the shit now.
Do you think Chelsea are top 4 confirmed now, even with the games coming up?
No. I think it's well up in the air. It's the last day of the season. Do you know what? This is the ones where Sky cream themselves, because 15 minutes into the game, it'll be like that. 27 minutes into the game, it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, and then boop, 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 and it'll change 3 times on the day. Not quite as bad as when we drew the league with City, but like it's gonna.
I like that.
It's gonna change several times over the course of the day.
Drew the league.
Well, we did, didn't we?
Did we? You used to share trophies. Remember that?
That's what we did. We've got like at the time I think we had 19, didn't we?
Which trophies was it that gets shared a lot?
Charity Shield.
Charity Shield. What was it? If you draw, you just share it. Yeah. And the FA Cup finals being a replay is weird. Because like, imagine going to the FA Cup final, but you don't get to see the winner.
No, and then it's like on a Monday night at Highbury. The next bit, you're like, what?
Yeah, that's bad. That like we think about how they always move games and stuff for football, but I'm glad there isn't 2 fucking FA Cup finals.
Yeah.
Reducing the replays on that. Imagine like having to go because they'd do it at Wembley again.
Now
the next
they would.
weekend. Like it'd be fucking pointless, and you'd still have to probably pay £90 for your ticket.
Yeah.
Because the tickets at Wembley are steep.
Yeah, everything about getting there is steep. It's a 1 on a train, it's a 1 on a coach, it's a 1 on a pint. Like everything's fucking nightmares, isn't it?
And you can't like. I went to Wembley for the NFL games, and I've been to Wembley for loads of football games, boxing, everything. Football fans have the worst experience, and we use it the most.
Do you remember when me and you went? It was on Remembrance Day as well, and it was England versus Scotland.
Oh God.
Right, there was a load of Scottish guys wearing skirts getting their chopper out, right? And there was a load of like what I can only describe as tax officials that supported England wearing like barber jackets with like fucking check shirts and fucking shit jeans on, right? And I'm like, I don't belong to either of these.
Do you remember that fella had like fucking hot dogs and candy floss and all that, juggling them down the
There was
stairs?
the random geezer that was like, because we were sat down, and that's a different experience at a match. I don't usually sit down. And we were sat, where we were sat, I think it was like 2 seats in, and then there was the away fans right here next to us. And we were literally almost like, felt like a steward in the middle. Just like, I'm not a part of either of these, because I don't really fucking give a fuck about England. And then there's people standing up on our right, doing the arms outstretched thing, singing God Save the Queen, which is the worst song ever written.
Worst national anthem of all time.
It's the least, it's so boring, uninspiring and flat.
Where's an Ours Land of Hope and Glory?
Which is a banger.
Like, that's a good one. Like, you know.
And Flower of Scotland's pretty cool as well.
I've not heard that one.
I'm not singing it. And then you've got, it's just flat and shit.
Yeah, I hate that national anthem. But let's get off that, because I'll be ranting here for days. Yeah, we did see some funny shit though. We did see some funny shit.
But
I would go to them
funny
games
shit.
just for like.
But unintentionally funny shit. It wasn't just like, it was a great experience. What was good, because we also went to the England-Italy game, didn't we? Which is where we got those pints that fill up from the bottom.
Oh yeah.
More of those, please.
I love how Spurs acted like they invented that, by the way.
Yeah.
When they think it. But you see, when I went for the NFL games, like been to a few, but I went to a Raiders match. Raiders were, I think they've moved now, but they were from Oakland, so West Side and all that. And they had like, do you know what them parties called again? Tailgate parties. They had a tailgate party outside the thing, but they had DJs playing like West Coast music, like grills on the go. Like it was a party atmosphere. You could have beers and that. They don't do that for us.
No.
They think we're all hooligans. And the facts are like there are still knobheads that go to football, but there's knobheads that go rugby. There's knobheads that go everywhere, and yet we can't even look at the pitch and drink a beer. I hate it.
One of the best experiences watching a sporting match I've ever had was me and Janine went to watch UCLA, and it was tailgate started at 6 a.m. Match kicked off at 1, right? I was minging by 1 o'clock. Do you know the octopus things where you pour beer in the top and there's all the little fucking hose pipes? Like, all the Americans are like, oh, give it a go and all that lot. I think I supped everybody else's first.
Supped everyone else?
Supped it.
Oh. Sounded like a good holiday for a minute.
Yeah. Different. But, like, I love that. You know, we're grilling fucking meat. We're drinking beer.
And random people are just like, yo, you want a burger or you want this? And it's
They've
like,
got those
what?
little games that they play where you got to throw like a beanbag into a board. We're throwing an American football around. This is fucking class. Oh, by the way, maybe not this year, but we are going to try and make it a cultural thing for Paddock to have a sort of tailgate, sort of opening game of the season sort of festival with a band and a barbecue and I'm going to probably get like, I'm going to say like, maybe 500, yeah, Sammy the Snake.
Sammy the Snake.
I'm going to get like 500 fucking beers and ice them. And like, once they're gone, they're gone. But I'll get like the first 500 fucking beers in. Just for everyone that fucking
So if
comes.
you're a beer sponsor, give us a call.
Yeah. Either way, I'm going Costco for them, so.
Yes. You love a good Costco shop, innit? Costco's a great place.
It's not as good as you think it is. Because it's this random shit like, oh, look, 2 bottles of vodka.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a pack. Okay. Or like an extra large bottle of rum.
Or you buy stuff that you just didn't need. Sometimes I go there and find cheap jeans.
The tasters are good there though. Have you ever had the brownies from Costco? Oh, they'll change your life.
Their food's good. Their food's good.
The pizzas are meant to be good. I've never had one of the pizzas though.
It's good. It's good shit.
But I love that side. I mean, Americans can do it because they have like 5 home games a year. So you can make a party out of every game.
Really?
And yeah. Because they play like 8 games, don't they? So you get like 5 at home, maybe 1 playoff game.
I was playing 2K20 the other day. There's 84 games I had to
Basketball's
play.
different, baseball's different.
Fuck
Baseball has
hell.
about 300 games, so I don't think tailgating's a thing at baseball. They just turn up like we do at football. Because you go into 40, 50 games a season, you just go to the game. You don't spend 6 hours having a party beforehand because I'm back here Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be back on Wednesday, yeah. It's like when I used to go to about, like at the start when I only had a membership, I'd go to like 10 games a season. So like,
you get there well early,
like, yeah,
you're outside fucking...
I'd get there well early partly because of the supporters club bus that I used to use. It would just drop you off. So if my dad weren't driving, he'd drop you off at the Blaze like 3 hours before kickoff, 2 hours before kickoff. I remember once, me and my mate, it was with my brother and my cousin. They were both like 15, 14. They must have been pretty young at that point. But me and him were students, and we probably had about 35, 40 quid between us. And we wanted to get on it, yeah. So we were like, fuck this. All right, let's go to Ladbrokes. Buy the key. Buy Lou McClary's. Span it, lost it. So we had 3 hours to burn with no money. It's like, I went into the stadium, the earliest I've ever been. I was looking at David Healy on the pitch at one point, thinking, he's in his suit, he's not even playing. What am I doing here in this ground? It's a 5:30 kickoff. The 3 o'clocks are just kicking off.
We used to go in, I used to meet the lads in the Trafford. Used to either get the tram over or drive over, or when my old man used to drive. We used to go in the Trafford about an hour early and spend 37 minutes queuing up to get a beer. That was warm. I think it's better now. I haven't been in the Trafford for ages because I've got a different way in now. But we never used to see kickoff.
You do, yeah.
I never saw kickoff for fucking 10 years. Like the last 10 years of Fergie's reign, Matt saw 5 kickoffs.
There was a Celtic game that I vividly remember in the Champions League, and they scored really early. But me and my dad were late, and we were in the tier 3 of the North Stand, and we were running up the stairs. Heard the Champions League music, heard Celtic fans celebrate. There was loads of Celtic fans in the United end. Remember that?
There was one probably 5 seats away from me, and it felt like a guy Supermaned it from about fucking 8 rows behind me to punch him. Yeah. You got him though.
It kicked off. Yeah. It kicked off in a few places because then.
Was that about 07? Around
yeah,
then.
06, 07. Giggsy scored. Remember when he got a penalty because his hamstring went? He ran into the corner. He fell holding his hamstring, and he got a penalty. That was quite good. I love that. I remember being right on the touchline when Berbatov kind of dived to win a penalty against Liverpool.
The one
and I seen it and I was like...
That little pirouette that he did was right in front of us.
West Ham.
My old seating K stand, yeah. I think I went home after that.
Yeah, that's one of them goals where you almost... Berbatov's goal, but it's not... You talk about
it's
it
Ronaldo's.
Like
Ronaldo tapping it in from 4 inches, but Berbatov...
Do you remember when Nani tried to do that to Ronaldo? In Portugal. So when
was,
Ronaldo ran through the whole team.
Nani's shot it off the line. And Ronaldo's like... Wasn't that like for his 100th goal or something mad like that as well? I think.
It was against Spain, and I think at that point he hadn't really performed against Spain. So there was all that thing.
Nani's like,
yeah. That. And then the worst thing is the ball was in the goal when Nani met it, so it should have still stood. But it got ruled out. I reckon...
Oh, was he offside as well?
Yeah. I reckon Ronaldo didn't speak to him for a good...
I reckon he changed his name in his phone from Nani to Buddha.
Did it? The next...
And he's like,
next time I met up, he didn't speak to him at all. Yeah, I would hate that. Oh, man. That must have been a really... Like, especially Ronaldo. Don't take a goal off Ronaldo. Like, you're on a list.
He lives for that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He lives for that.
He's on a list.
Yeah, he is on a list. Righty then, I think we're going to wrap it up there because I think you've got to fuck off. Mm-hmm. And I need to speak to Umbro. So, cheers for tuning in.
Umbro friends. Umbro were a great sponsor, by the way. If you want to sponsor Stretford Paddock, give us a call. Call me, though, not him. See, I got a deal for you today, Steve.
Have you seen the Stretford Paddock kits?
You've now got a call with Umbro because of me.
Right. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to follow him. Make sure to follow me. Make sure to subscribe.
It's too early for this
shit.
shit.
Anything that you want in the comments. This is uncensored. We'll do whatever. And we'll see you in the fucking next one.
Slip a nip out.
Okay. Bye.